So I'm going to do a few thumbnails of the pinnacles and the slide area behind. Now I've ascertained just by sight sizing that what I want is about the same size. So about like that, the size of the pinnacles, and that on here. So I want a bit of breathing room at the bottom, and wherever it stops, you're not going to get all of it. And then there's the river and the pinnacles here, about there. I'm just getting the shapes, just putting them sort of in context. Then there's a bunch of trees here, and there's an evergreen a little bit taller than, and we'll just get that in there. There's more evergreens here, and then more pinnacles there going cropping off and the rest these will just be the poplar trees in the front here. So that's basically our shape. So a little bit of an angle there, a triangle here as well. So that's thumbnail number 1. Okay, second attempt here. Are we going to eliminate a few things or add a few things? Maybe we'll add that background trees. Here's the river, and we're going to collapse a few things. Here's the shape of the pinnacles, and with one over here, and a little bit of a tree overlapping there. And we're going to move this over a little bit more, and we'll just have this shape here, and then this feeling of slide going down. Then this would be a lot of dark material to set off the lightness of the pinnacles. So, and this will be just shaded a tiny bit. Again, the focus is on the pinnacles itself. So, third attempt here. Let's do more of the pinnacles. And the trees here. Just foreground poplars again. And just a tiny bit of this tree sticking out here. And then the slide area, we're only a few little trees here. And the river, or creek, Baker Creek. And then just get this shape in as far as we can. And this feeling of a slide going down. Again, darkness here. And these will be in shadow in here. And there's more poplar trees in here. And this is quite dark. And we'll cut it off here because of more trees, just so it doesn't shoot off the picture plane, and back in here too. Now that might be. I mean, we could, there's a little spot here with a few tiny little evergreens, but I'm not sure that's worth doing because, again, it draws your eye up and out. So I think you're better off just having this in a color. And then the pinnacles will be very bold and very bright. And right now there isn't any shadow, but I can probably, figure out the shadows or come here another time and then get the shadows, at the bases of the pinnacles, which could be quite interesting. We'll put a little bit of stuff in here. So that sort of gives me 3 opportunities, and I could do lots more, but it's freezing here and I'm probably going to do more. I have good photographs. I'm going to try for a quick drawing, and our format is 18 by 24, and we're just going to draw it out a little bit better so you get a feeling. So we'll do the last one, I think, with less of the slide area. And I'll do something called blind contour, where my eye is following the line and I'm drawing at the same time, and I'm not really looking at the paper so much. So here is and at the base is a creek going, which is a perspective nightmare actually. Because it curves around, it doesn't. Well, we'll figure it out. And then some more trees here just to cut off the creek as it's wending its way. And some of these are poplar trees, so. And all this is, we're just going to cross hatch that. It's just dark trees. And you get the shapes here. Oh, and we have crows flying, but we won't put those in. Okay, so our shapes of the pinnacles here. Again, I'm just looking at form, not so much at structure, just do the shapes. And there's sort of a gap here, then there's a big gap there. Bunch of them here, and there's this one there. And again, we're going to leave that space down below here where you get the feeling of looking down. Just foliage. And cross hatch that a little bit. And then I guess we can't really do, there's an evergreen here, so that will work. And more, all this foliage, and this creek is curving quite dramatically, so we'll increase that to give it more perspective as it's going on into the distance. And then so the lightest areas are going to be our pinnacles, and we'll just give it some shape. And there's lots of evergreens in here, some overlapping, and then our shapes of the slide area coming down. So all this will be color, so I'll make some color notes. And this section here is quite bluish, sort of a steel blue. My hand is getting cold. I can't write anymore. Anyway, and our trees are sap green and plus dark black. Okay, and then there's some blues hiding in the pinnacles, right around the tops here, and then down in here. And a lot of it, this is very light, so in here, maybe lightened Naples, I think, is closest. Naples yellow. And then our trees, this is Indian yellow. And it's darkened. We'll put that all in shade. So steel blue is here, and then on this end here, ultramarine blue, I think, lightened. So all of that, will contrast with the lightness of the pinnacles, and I think that should be a successful composition. And some of the contours are really interesting. I don't know if I can get much of that. And some darker shading here and there. And the tops have a little bit darker areas. And this one particularly has got a really interesting shape. And then lots of strict branches and things down here. That'll all be sort of in shadow and not very visible. Okay, before I freeze to death here, I guess we better go. A really rough sketch, but it gets all the things I want. It follows my little thumbnails as to which one was best, and we're ready to get it on canvas and start painting.